Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, a while back, not that long ago, The Economist put out a horrific article that was basically stating that veterans benefits, specifically disabled veterans benefits, are absurdly generous. And they kind of picked and pillaged from things from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, from years past, and a really horrible opinion piece by Greenberg and Duggan, I believe his name was, over at Stanford. So, in any case, this rolled around again and ruffled a lot of feathers in the advocate space and in veterans as well. So, I found another article here. It's an opinion piece, basically refuting the Economist's take, and I wanted to share with you here today. It's the opinion piece on Military Times. America Must Honor the Contract on Veterans Benefits by Al Liphart. And please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Every minute watched and every thumbs up helps to get the reach, and I really do appreciate that. Yeah, if you want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. I do my best to get back to you in the comments. Thank you so much. All right, so on Thanksgiving, an article published in The Economist demonstrated its contempt for American veterans, labeling our benefits as absurdly generous. The timing of this outlandish statement was tasteless, but the assertion was not isolated. Instead, the article was another key salvo, I'm not sure, in an ongoing attack to portray veterans as pariahs leeching off the American taxpayer. We heard similar ham-handed criticism in recent years from the Washington Post, former VA secretaries, and so-called veteran leaders who seem content to abandon their ill and injured comrades once the uniform comes off. And look, I'm just going to throw out there, I'm in the space in my mind of trying to eliminate I wish I would have knowns, right? I'm trying to utilize, right, this platform with your help, right? Can't do it by myself. It takes all of us to spread word and information to all of us. Some of us know a lot. Some of us are brand new. Some people are just now today figuring out what VA disability benefits even are. And so, there's some redundancy. It's going to happen. And it is what it is. I can't make everybody happy. I'm trying. All right. When my generation came home from Vietnam, not mine, but the author, when my generation came home from Vietnam to an ungrateful nation, we committed that never again would America forget those who were willing to lay it all down in defense of our liberties. After Vietnam, we abandoned the draft forever in favor of relying on brave Americans who willingly forfeit the comforts of civilian life to join the military and protect us. Since 9/11, America has relied on an all-volunteer force to fight our wars and deter our enemies. A dangerous mission that continues today. After 20 years of repeatedly deploying to the same volunteers into the same toxic meat grinder, can any American truly be surprised that those who serve in our all-volunteer force need more benefits and care? So they're referencing the uptick, right? So not only is it because there's more people than ever that have been, just continually going, but also awareness, right? Gone are the days, well, it's not really gone. There's still a lot of people that just say rub some dirt on and move forward, but more and more are realizing that they do have benefits that they earned, and so they're actually utilizing those. While the benefits we afford our all-volunteer force may seem generous to those who never raised their right hand, these benefits are simply the warranty of an all-volunteer service contract each of us signed before we put on the uniform. In addition to the service member's obligations, each contract explicitly entitles the service member to certain benefits as a result of honorable service. This is why the VFW calls on our nation to honor the contract. This is how the Basic Enlistment Contract DD Form 4 reads today. My re-enlistment agreement is more than an employment agreement. It affects a change in status from civilian to military member of the armed forces. As a member of the armed forces of the United States, I will be, some bullet points here, required to obey all lawful orders and perform all duties assigned, subject to separation during or at the end of my enlistment if my behavior fails to meet acceptable military standards. I may be discharged and given a certificate for less than honorable service, which may hurt my future job opportunities and my claim for veterans benefits. Subject to the military justice system, which means, among other things, that I may be tried by military court-martial. Required upon order to serve in combat or other hazardous situations. Entitled to receive pay, allowances, and other benefits as provided by law and regulation. This isn't charity. This is a contract. Everyone who served honorably, like every member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, has honored our end of the contract. We call on our leaders to do the same. While Congress can always make changes to the laws and cut benefits under the contract, some are naive to think it cannot happen. But it has happened before. In 1932, big business interests and prominent ex-military officers formed the National Economy League to identify wasteful government spending. With their sights squarely on veterans' benefits, the National Economy League then colluded with Congress and the White House to slash earned veterans' benefits by 60% through the Economy Act. The Economy Act broke the contract, and the consequences were predictable. Veterans plunged deeper into economic crisis, hopelessness, and even suicide. In the 1930s, the VFW distinguished itself as an organization by veterans for veterans who would stand against this dereliction of duty, ultimately repealing some of the Economy Act's most abominable, I can barely say that, cuts. The VFW also pushed for early payment of the World War I bonus, which stimulated the economy and empowered veterans. But the damage was done. Veterans died. How could any politician of the day feel good about the human toll on their short-sightedness? God help us if we make the same mistakes today. The VFW understands the fiscal needs of our nation. Our bureaucracies can always use a belt-tightening. But as we learned in the 1930s, a nation can never achieve prosperity when it hurts the people who protect it. You cannot easily find details about this dark chapter in our history online. Thankfully, the VFW has it in our archives, which we will share over the coming weeks so Americans can truly understand the stakes of abandoning its protectors. Unlike my generation, more veterans today survive battlefield injuries, and they are better informed about the benefits earned by honoring their service contract. Americans should celebrate this. Instead, it seems that some people may be jealous that we take care of those who serve. To you, I would say America is facing a recruiting shortfall as we speak. Please feel free to sign up, serve your country, and honor a contract of your own. Then you, too, will be eligible for these same benefits. Otherwise, we must have a real conversation about bringing back the draft, which would be a sad day for our nation. Whether it's proposals to cut disability payments, restrict access to education or home loan benefits, scale back healthcare access, or means test veterans as a condition of eligibility, join VFW in fighting this scourge, I'm not sure, and ensuring America's leaders honor the contract. And, well said, Al. The bottom line is that when you have a bunch of talking out there in a negative way, whether it's CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, or folks like Lieutenant Colonel Greenberg or Duggan or The Economist, all of this noise could get traction. It needs to be refuted, and it needs to be talked about in a logical way. So I'm glad that Al chimed in here. He served as the Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the U.S. since his election to office in August, on August 1st, and it doesn't have a year. I'm guessing of this year, 2024. So, thank you, Al. We appreciate you and your voice. With that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.